What is up, guys? Team Yugi Fails here with another deck profile, and I have to start off the video by saying thank you guys so much for getting a bunch of subscriptions thrown my way. I think within the last week, I think I've gained, let's see, I think it's 18 subscribers now in the last week. So we're moving up. You know, obviously I've said it in other videos. The goal is 300 by I think I said May or June. So we're pretty close. We're getting there. You know, we're at 265. 35 more isn't a lot. I know we can do it. We can do it pretty quickly too. I also have to say thank you guys who have been giving the thumbs up and the positive comments on all my videos. You guys are the real MVPs. You guys are doing great things. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys a Zoodiac Deck Profile. This is not super competitive. I think that it could slip into like the top 10 decks of the format, maybe, but if it is, it's slipping in at number 10. And if not, then it's an honorable mention. I've been testing this deck a lot since they announced that Dryden was coming back. I wanted to see just what the deck, you know, its ceiling was, and I've noticed that the ceiling of the deck can be high. However, there are times where it just completely like bricks and you can't play, which is why I don't want to put it necessarily like in a guaranteed top 10. If I did, like I said, I would put it at the slot number 10. So I'm just going to show you guys this deck and how I've been playing it. It is just pure Zoo. There's nothing fancy about it, but I'll show you guys how I'm playing it. So I'm playing 3 Thoroughblade. Thoroughblade is part of one of your one-card combos, which is involved with himself and another Zoodiac monster. Typically, you want it to be Ram. However, if it is Whiptail, that's okay too, because it still works similarly. Speaking of the Whiptail, we do play 3 Whiptail. Card's just too good not to play 3 of. Being able to banish your opponent's cards when you battle with your monster and their monster is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Then we have Zoodiac Ram. Gotta play 3 of this. He is the ultimate MVP when it comes to making Mega Clops. Being able to make that card, then summon a Dryden back is just, it's simply shocking to your opponent. I've had people just look at Mega Clops and read it and go, oh, that's pretty good. So we also play the 1 Rapier. I'm not playing Bunny Blast. I was testing it and I found that it was really bad, so I just opted to cut it. So only 10 Zoo monsters. Moving on to the hand traps. Playing 3 Nibiru. This is something that I think is necessary in this deck. So you can rebound very quickly with a lot of the abilities to recycle your cards. And you have a bunch of cards, which I'll get to, obviously, that you use to recycle. So using your Nibiru, even if you get rid of your Zoo monsters, it's okay, because you can just cycle them back into the extra deck, and then you can play them on the following turn again. Then we play 3 Ash, which is very standard in just about every deck now. So Ash is just there to be one of the best hand traps that we have, if not the best hand trap. Then I'm playing 2 Ghost Ogre. This is... I think Ghost Ogre is going to have a very strong impact coming into this format. It's going to end up hurting a lot of decks if you can just drop it at the right time. And I personally think that what we have coming up in the meta, that this card is just going to be insane to counter it. A lot of different decks too. It's not just like it's one deck that I could say, hey, this is definitely going to hurt this. It's more so just an overall variety that it's going to end up hurting. But those are all the monsters. So I'm playing 8 hand traps that are monsters, technically. I will get to another hand trap that I'm playing, but we'll get to that as we go through the deck profile. So 8 monsters that are hand traps. Moving on to the spells, though. 3 Tenki. This is fairly straightforward. I think that playing 3 Tenki is a necessity. It's obviously a 1-card combo with Rapier, or if you need to search a Thoroughblade or a Ram, you can do so with the Tenki. And then the 1 Barrage. Unfortunately, you know, Konami does like to make everything as quote-unquote fair as possible, so when they give us a little bit, they take a little bit. So we got 1 Dryden, but we had to give away 2 Barrage, which I guess is okay. 3 Call by the Grave. So I was kind of up in the air on whether I wanted to play this or DD Crow, and then I said, you know what, I'd rather play the Call by the Grave because it's still really good going first or second. So I'm opting to play the 3 Call by, and it's working out amazingly so far. Then for some draw power, I have 2 Desires and 2 Avarice. So the Avarice is one of your recyclability points, which I think is very important for this deck, because you can really burn through your extra deck very quickly. So having the ability to shuffle the cards back that you need, as well as your hand traps, you can recycle your hand traps with it too. So if you need more hand traps back in your deck to draw into, guess what? Avarice will do that for you. So playing this is really solid. As for Desires, we're playing 3 copies of a lot of the cards in our deck, so playing the Desires doesn't really hurt. I know people always get are very 50-50 with this card. Some people get really mad and think it's a terrible card. Some people think it's great. I usually play one of it, but when it comes to Zoo, even back during Zoo format, I think I was playing 2 or 3 of it just because it's too good not to play. And then one Monster Reborn. I was thinking about playing Shuffle Reborn, but I opted against it, and I think Monster Reborn is a lot better. Moving on to the traps, though. I am main decking 3 Solemn Strike. I think Solemn Strike is a very significant card going forwards. Being able to Solemn Strike cards that would normally swing against you for game is very, very important. So having this card in your arsenal is an awesome addition. Then the card that I'm testing right now is 3 Compulse. I'm somewhat between this and Crackdown. My only thing with Crackdown is that if they do anything to like chain to it, they can just get their monster back. Like if they somehow have a chain to pop it, it's pointless. So I just don't like Crackdown as much. I don't think it's as useful. I think Compulse is a lot better. And this is the other hand trap I was talking about. I'm playing 2 Imperm. I thought about playing 3, but because I'm playing the Nibiru, I figure if I like happen to have this in hand and they don't activate any monster effects on the field, and I Nibiru, then this is a dead card in my hand if I'm going second. So if you don't want to play this because of that, which I fully understand, some people aren't going to want to play it because it somewhat contradicts Nibiru, then I would say if you don't want to do that, to swap this out for Effect Veilers or Forbidden Chalice. Fully your choice, whatever you guys want to do, but that's what I would personally do if I were anyone who was thinking about changing it. Then I play 2 Zoodiac Combo. This is another one of those recyclability cards. You want to be able to recycle in this deck as much as possible, and playing Combo is probably your best bet. And then I do main deck the 1 Imperial Order. This is something that a lot of people did back when Zoo format came to a close. When Link Monsters actually first came out, Mrs. Radiant was like the Link monster that everyone played in Zoo. It was just the one monster that you played. And people were main decking Imperial Order, and it was one of the best cards in the deck, if not the best card in the deck, especially in the mirror, because your opponent would activate Tenki or Barrage, and you just flip Order, and they probably lose. Going into the extra deck, though, the main deck is 41 cards. The Imperial Order was the 41st card, and it's fully worth it. And anytime that I'm playing one or multiple Desires, I typically play 41 cards. It's just like one of my personal it's just one of like my personal pet peeves. I just like to play one extra card just in case. You never know. It sounds stupid, but it's just one of those things that I do. But moving on to the extra deck, I play 1 Hammer Kong. You really only need 1 of this, so playing 1 is fine. 2 Borbo. This comes up because if you're going into time and you can swing directly, then you can probably steal a game pretty easily with this, which is just awesome. 3 Tiger Mortar. This is one of the necessities to be playing at 3. Not too much to explain there. Reattaching cards is really important. Chakanine, this is your Mega Clops Turbo card. Basically, you just use this card all the time to turbo out your Mega Clops when you need it. And then our 1 Sweet and Lovely Dragon. Then some other rank 4s that I'm playing, and I know in like the salad deck list I showed you other like extra deck options, so I'm gonna kind of like explain here and then go into like other options that you could play. So I have 1 Daigusto Emerald and 1 Tornado Dragon. So I think that the Tornado Dragon is necessary. The Emerald is fully your choice. If you don't want to play the Emerald, I would recommend either playing Exciton Knight or playing Nightmare Phoenix. It is fully your choice. However, if you play Nightmare Phoenix, you now have a card that contradicts with summoning a Mega Clops, and that could be a problem. So you might want to contemplate playing the Exciton Knight if you don't want to play Emerald. However, there are going to be times where you have Avarice or Zoodiac combo, and you would be able to shuffle, but you won't have the number of Zoodiac monsters or monsters in general needed to shuffle back, so you'd have to use Daigusto Emerald. So I'm very, very 50-50 on what I would play, depending on if you're going to change it up. If you are going to change it up, though, Emerald is probably the best card to swap out rather than Tornado Dragon. But that being said, it's fully your choice. Whatever you feel is necessary for your play style or whatever deck variation you want to go for it. And then for Link Monsters, I play one Gravity Controller still. I think this card is the absolute nuts. It's like one of the best commons that I think I've ever seen out of like a recent pack. It just does everything that you need it to. It's absolutely crazy. And then 2 Megaclops. Nothing really too much to go over here. This card just solves a lot of problems. It lets you recur your Trident back on the field and just continue making crazy plays. And there are multiple like 1 and 1.5 card combos to make it, so fully worth it. Moving on to the side deck, as I state as always, the side deck is very subjective. It is up to you to decide what's going on in your local tournament, what's going on at your regional, YCS, online event currently because of the virus. That is obviously your guys' decision, so I always say it is subjective and it's up for you guys to decide, but I'm going to show you guys what I am currently testing and what cards I think that you can change if you want to. So, the only monster that I'm side decking is 3 Lancia. I think that this card going forwards is going to be amazing because playing against dinosaurs and playing against Orcust is going to be a very difficult matchup. So being able to play your Lancia is very significant because that basically cuts off their entire deck to where they can't play as well as they could before. If you Lancia Dinos, they can't make a Conductor. If you Lancia Orcust, they just can't play. They really can't do much of anything. So playing Lancia, I think going forwards is really, really smart. 3 Twin Twisters. This is one of the cards that I'm really going to go over and discuss as to things that you can change. Obviously, there's a million different ways of back row removal to be put into a deck nowadays. It can be Twin Twisters, it could be Lightning Storm, it could be Cosmic Cyclone. It's fully your choice. I think Twin Twisters is pretty solid. I personally, my second choice would probably be Cosmic Cyclone. The reason that I lean away from playing cards like Lightning Storm currently, not only is it the price tag, because I just really don't want to pay for them right now. I'm currently in the middle of slowly piecing together a max rarity GOAT deck, so I'm not trying to pick up $300, $400 worth of Lightning Storms when Twin Twisters and Cosmic Cyclone work for me. Now, my problem with Twin Twister and Lightning Storm is that it says destroy. If you are playing against decks coming out like Orcust that are going to be really solid, or decks coming back, I should say, like Orcust, Dingirsu is going to guard any spell or trap that they have. And then if you're playing against something like Mystic Mine or Mystic Mine Burn, then they're probably going to have the field barrier to stop their Mystic Mine from being destroyed. So at that point, Twin Twisters and Lightning Storm become irrelevant, which is unfortunate, but it's the reality of it. So Twin Twisters or Lightning Storm are probably, I'm sorry, Twin Twisters or Cosmic Cyclone are probably your best bet currently, and that's just a personal opinion. You guys can change it up as you'd like. Then Triple Evenly. I think Evenly is a really solid card. I think this is kind of mandatory in this deck. I don't think there's anything about this that you shouldn't like, other than not getting a battle phase, and even then you could still pop cards with Trident, which makes it even better. 3 Anti-Spell. I think going forwards, this card is going to be bonkers. It already is bonkers right now. I mean, it depends on the deck that you're playing. Like, I know that a lot of trap decks, Altergeist and Guru included, like to side deck this card because then your opponent has to set their Lightning Storm, which is a really big benefit. So, and on top of that, playing against Shadal or Invoked or Shadal Invoked, this card just is a really solid auto win for the most part. Then the other card that I'm testing is 3-pointer, the Red Lotus. So I enjoy this card a lot. I've been finding lately that it just solves a lot of problems. It outs whatever combo piece in your opponent's hand or whatever board wipe in your opponent's hand, which to me, that's more valuable than half the cards in the deck. If I have to pay 2,000 life points to out one card that could make it so my opponent can't play, so be it. I'd rather do that. That way they can't play at all than, you know, me getting my board wiped or them being able to combo off. So playing 3 of this currently I think is awesome in this deck. And actually back during Zoo format, a lot of people were playing this because they'd look at their opponent's hand and they'd strip whatever card out of it that they needed to, and then their opponent couldn't play, as I mentioned prior. So playing a Pointer of the Red Lotus, I think, is a really cool tech, and I think it's going to work out really, really well. So that is the main side and extra deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. And please don't forget to subscribe. You guys have been doing a great job of that so far. It's highly appreciated. Like I said, we're trying to hit that 300 mark. Obviously, the big goal is to get into the thousands. That's a really big goal. We'll get there, but it's going to take time. Unless you guys share these videos, then at that point, we might just keep going viral. But hope you guys enjoyed. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, everything that you know that you love to do already. And for right now, this is Team Yugi Fails signing out.